gentle. That's so good. You want to be a little bit careful when he's in food mode. And that's just Slinky talk for back up off me, bro. Why are you all up on me? It can be a marine lizard, it's an aquatic lizard, it's a land-loving lizard. It'll fit a Slinky, but not comfortably. Hey, buddy, come on, Slinky. Come on, Slinky. Get over here. Come on, buddy. What's going on, everyone? I'm hanging out in Slinky's enclosure. It's one of my favorite places to be here at the camp. Let's see if I can calm him down, if he knows to gently take this from me. Gentle, gentle. That's so good.
Oh
How
God.
cool is that? Oh, what a good boy. Let's do that again. Gentle. That's a good boy. That's my man. I love this lizard so much. A lot of you have been asking about Slinky's enclosure, about Slinky himself. So I thought today we'd just hang out with Slinky, man. It's cool to just get in here and interact with these animals. And let's see if we could get him to come over here. Come over there. Go in the water. I want him to go swim around. I like using these croc diet because it's fun. I can throw it in the water and I can kind of get him to almost enriching behavior, you know, get him to use his tongue. He can get out there and forage and use this entire ecosystem pond that my friends at Aquascape built for him. They love Slinky as much as I do. And so what happened was a few years ago, Slinky almost died. He almost froze to death and I was able to bring him back to life, which is incredible. Look, he's just kind of, where'd it go? Where'd it go? He's got to use that tongue. That's what I want him to do. I want him to really try and find his food. And this way he can stimulate all those senses, his brain, everything that's very important for him. Let's just put it in there. Oh, there you go. He's so cool though.
So
he's
gentle.
Yeah, he is. He's an Asian water monitor. These guys are found from India all the way through Southeast Asia into the islands of Indonesia and into some of the Pacific islands. These animals have even been found 40 feet deep in I've seen footage of an Asian water monitor 40 feet deep in the ocean. It was amazing. The animal was way down on the coral reef and there was a scuba diver and they actually were able to kind of see this animal down there. And it was just foraging for things to eat. That's incredible. A truly, you know, it can be a marine lizard, it's an aquatic lizard, it's a land-loving lizard. It's all over the place. And you know, you want to be a little bit careful when he's in food mode. He's using his tongue. He's generally pretty smart. He hasn't bitten me yet.
Forgot I wore the blue shoes.
Oh, yes, the blue shoes, the blue suede shoes.
Slow.
Oh, yeah, what we're going to do
He loves these blue shoes.
is we're going to, hey, I want you to go in the water. Go in the water, that's where I want you. So there's definitely some pieces in the water. And why the big pond? Well, since he is an aquatic reptile, it's important that he have a really cool habitat to live in and to interact with. You guys have watched me and Matt clean out this enclosure to get the fish. You guys remember that Slinky actually ate one of the big cichlids. He'll sometimes get a fish or two, and I'm happy with that. I want him to live as natural a life as possible. And that's exactly what we've created here in this enclosure. It's a naturalistic ecosystem pond. There he goes. That is so awesome. And this is Croc Diet. It's made by Missouri Foods, Missouri Animal Diets. It's all protein. It's for carnivorous reptiles. And that's what he is. He is a carnivore. And he'll scavenge, he'll hunt, he'll do whatever he can to find himself some food. And I really wanted to do a deep dive today on this enclosure because it truly is one of the best enclosures here at the camp. I mean, in my opinion, this is zoo quality. It's just, it took so many different friends of mine to help. Number one was Jerry Wolf. You can check him out in Wolf's Wild World on YouTube. He's an amazingly talented guy with his hands, and he helped me build this enclosure. And so the foundation of this enclosure is made out of cement block. So we went around and we built up cement block 4 foot tall, and then we anchored some 4x4 posts. We have our cross bracing, and then we talked to our good friend Brian Battle, who does screen homes, and we got some aluminum because we didn't want to hang wood. It was very heavy. So the aluminum was a little bit more pricey, but it's lightweight. Then my friends from Knitwire right here sent us this beautiful reinforced steel mesh wire. And that's what's making the roof. Slinky cannot rip through this, friends. It is really, really tight and double woven, so that's very strong. They use it in construction sites to kind of hold any debris from falling down on the streets below. So you can see the stuff in some major metropolitan areas, but these guys, they're out of England and they shipped all this stuff to me, and I actually used all of it. So there's no more of it here. And I'm replying to an email that Tim sent me asking to know if we had any more here on site, and I don't. I used it all up because he was gonna have me send some to another facility that needs some, but he's gonna have to ship it from England. I digress. Anyway, we got these cross braces, and I just remember it's been a couple years now. I mean, there are thousands of screws holding this stuff in up top. So it's it was a lengthy project to get on up top in this Florida sun. I was up there for hours a day, just sinking, and it was not fun. But once it was done, this thing is pretty amazing. So then, of course, our friends at Aquascape built the beautiful river system. Oh, Slinky! Slinky, there's no more food in there for you. He's like the cat that gets his head stuck in the box. That is so cute, man.
You're
Slinky's always getting
ridiculous.
into trouble. You know, that's kind of funny, guys, because actually the whole reason Slinky came to me is because Joey Casey, a man I knew for many years with motocross and BMX events, had this animal with his wife, and they had him in Atlanta, Georgia, living in an apartment. And Slinky was getting big quick. In fact, I got Slinky. Slinky was only that big, but Slinky did have free reign of the apartment, but he was knocking things over, and it was just becoming more of a problem for them to keep Slinky.
This guy?
This guy right here, he once was a little guy. And so what happened was, I had been messing around on Facebook, and I had commented, I'd love to have a monitor lizard again. And well, they saw that, and next thing you know, I had a friend who went to a reptile show in Atlanta, picked up Slinky and brought it back for me, and here he is. Beautiful Slinky. I've been in love ever since we first met. So Slinky is just a character. He's an amazing lizard. He's an amazing, amazing lizard. And I really enjoy coming in here, sitting with him, interacting with him, because I get to experience the intelligence of monitor lizards. I get to experience them in as natural a situation as possible. And one day I hope to go to Southeast Asia. I'd love to go to Thailand. I'd love to go to Vietnam, to places where these animals are actually native and see them. There's a park in Bangkok that is just loaded with water monitors. I'd love to go see that and be there and just see these animals in the wild. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to touch any of those in the wild because they are wild animals. They're not habituated to being a pet, and that could be a problem because they have very sharp teeth, they've got sharp claws, and as you guys have seen, even though he's a pet, he has no problem whipping me with that tail from time to time. If I startle him or come up behind him, he doesn't like that very much. So Slinky is a beautiful animal. Look at him, he's
Totally underwater.
Man. That is so cool.
I've never actually seen him go.
Well, you know what you could do? Stick that camera underwater, man. It's
Yeah, that's our new one.
oh, who cares? We're going under. That was incredible footage. He was using his tongue underwater. He's looking for food underwater. You see exactly what I'm talking about. This animal is at home in the water or on land, and he's able to use that tongue and that Jacobson's organ that he has in the roof of his mouth to kind of probe in the rocks and look for any fish that may be hiding in there. And he's quick enough to catch them, believe it or not. I've also seen him curl his tail to corral fish into a shallow area where he's able to then try and bring them to his face. So they have a lot of little techniques they use to catch food, and it's really impressive to see him so active here in this enclosure. We threw food out. He knows food's out in here somewhere. He's searching around for it. This is what I want to see from a monitor lizard. We want to see him interacting with his environment, being as natural as possible. It is one of the more satisfying bits of raising reptiles in captivity, is to mimic that ability that they have in the wild. So this is so cool. Like I said, just coming in here and seeing this, just let him go. Let him explore. Go follow him, but just let him explore. It's so cool. He's got so much area to kind of interact with. So it's just dynamite. I just think it's the coolest thing in the world.
He's big in the midsection of the
Oh yeah, he's fat and happy is how I like to keep my lizards. That is so cool. And there are basilisks that get into this enclosure as babies and then grow up. And they don't last long because Slinky eats them. Same thing with curly tails. So Slinky is catching food in here. He's just enjoying himself in here. Look at the claws. Look at this claws. I know. And he'll dig with those. He'll protect himself, and he also uses them to rip open prey. So just overall, a very, very capable animal for his environment. And then discussing the enclosure again, I mean, you know, it's only a few years old, but look at all the foliage. We have this beautiful alocasia, Mexican papyrus, regular papyrus, all that's filtering. We got native ferns that just popped up. I didn't plant this, it just showed up. These two ferns, and they're two of my favorite plants in here. It provides shade and cover. We've got the different topography, different rocks, and then, of course, the final group of people, or the final company that really helped us out was Universal Rocks. They made the skin for the walls with their rock paneling, and we were able to hide that ugly concrete block with really naturalistic universal rock. So just it was everyone working in concert to build this habitat of mine and Slinky's dreams. What's going on over there? I hear he's moving around still. Look at that there, Matt. Isn't that cool? He's really everywhere, man. He's over here on the other side of the pond.
So we were out here one day in a light rain.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I just can't not tell this story when we go in here, because
Go ahead.
It was like a rainforest. It was a little bit dark. You could feel the heat from the sun coming through. There was a little moisture in the air, and I just felt like he looked like he was in his prime.
Yeah.
And we had so much room. We walked all over the whole place like we are today.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. You know, the whole scenario has just been nothing short of a dream. You know, and I'll get in here and weed whack if I have to. Probably coming up here now that we got the rainy season back, I'll just weed whack some of the other plants just to kind of keep it a little bit manicured so I can see them when I need to see them. But there you go. Oh, he didn't like that, you see? And that's just Slinky talk for back up off me, bro. Why you all up on me? So how'd that feel? I'm the one getting whipped usually. What did you think, dude?
Oh, you'll see it tomorrow for sure.
Yeah. That's something.
Luckily, I got the broad side of it instead of the tip, because the tip will leave a stinger. That one on your face was pretty amazing. Oh my God, yeah, you guys got to look at my Instagram for me doing a Specialized bicycle shout out. It was brutal. He whipped me right in my face. Oh, we'll see this though.
Oh yeah. Oh dude. Let me come here. Give me this.
Let's
check this out. Let's assess the
from some injections.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that red. And then the Band-Aids are from injections.
Yep.
He's been having some back issues, but we wish him well in the comments.
I think I just got the magic Slinky slap. I think he might have fixed it.
He might have. He's also a chiropractor, dude. So.
I felt the click.
Yeah, there was.
I did. I felt. Oh, you like these blue shoes when they move?
Why don't you guys come on over here? I want to show you this section of the enclosure. I had to do a little bit of retrofitting because he was able to slide in between the universal rock. Originally, Pinky was going to live in here with him, a smaller female monitor, but we had a little house for her. But this one doesn't have heat in it, so I blocked it off because I don't want him to go into it on a cold night. Exactly, and then get trapped in it while he's too cold. So yeah, this whole place is really cool.
How big is this underneath?
Oh my gosh, it's underneath. When you
this is the home, and there's just that
yeah, it's not so big. It'll fit a Slinky, but not comfortably.
No,
it's pretty good. Yeah. So these are fire ants. I got to look out. I'm gonna get bit up. Oh my God, fire ants. I got to put some dust on there.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get out of there pretty quick.
Anyway, yeah. So it's just a really cool habitat. And you know, he's got a lot of room to explore and move. So really, really happy. And you guys have seen in videos, what I do is I get in here, I thin out the plants and make sure things are looking good, that the pond is flowing properly. So it's just a little bit of maintenance. Probably twice a year I get in here and trim things up. Otherwise, Slinky is perfectly happy living in this abode.
And it does get thick.
It does.
Like
real
that day I'm thinking of, it was thick in here, and then 2 weeks later you'd come in and chop it out and it looked all this sunlight.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really he's got his scent, the scent of that food. He's really tuned into different senses with that tongue. So it's an amazing apparatus for these lizards and snakes to use to find their food. And there was another video we did with Ed, the pond professor, and Greg Whitstock, the pond guy, where we let Slinky walk around my recreation pond. Slinky spent a half an hour walking around with that tongue, and he found, caught, and killed and ate a banded water snake, about a 3.5-foot banded water snake. It was like watching the trials of life. It was incredible. So Slinky, really, that tongue works. So it was really a cool situation, you know. Well, I wasn't happy because I liked that snake, but it was still pretty interesting to see him hunt an animal. So Slinky is really just an amazing, amazing lizard. What do you guys think? Do you love Slinky? Let me know. I'd love to know in the comments below. Do you love him as much as I do? Do you enjoy seeing him on these videos? He has kind of become something of a mascot for this channel. He is definitely the most famous lizard, and I'll tell you what, we had a video go viral with Slinky where he almost froze on Facebook, and I used to go to my gym and work out, and there's a bunch of big tough guys there. A guy came up to me while I was working out, and I pull out my headphones and goes, "Hey man, I just want you to know something." Real big, muscly, tough guy. He goes, "I see you in here all the time. I was messing around on Facebook and I saw some dude crying over a lizard. I thought, who is this guy crying over a lizard? I want you to know something. I watched that whole 20-minute video, and by the end of it, I was rooting for that lizard to survive, man." He goes, "That is the coolest lizard I've ever seen." So this dude realized it was me on the video and came over to say how cool Slinky was. So that's what my dream is that people who don't necessarily pay attention to these animals come away with a respect and an admiration for what these animals are. And I think you can only do that through educational videos like this and seeing these animals interact in a really naturalistic way. So I'm proud of Slinky. I'm proud of this habitat. I want to thank all the people who helped me build it, and you guys for watching these videos, because without your interest, this backyard and channel would be nothing. So thank you for allowing me to live my dream and to give these animals the best possible lives, because that's my dream, is to give these animals the best possible life, to inspire you guys to do the same, and to educate. And that's what the channel's all about. And God, I'm looking at Slinky right now. There's so many good Instagram photos I feel like I can be taking at the moment. But why don't we just enjoy Slinky slinking around his enclosure? And I'll talk to you guys again on another video. Thank you so very much for being a part of this channel, being a part of our lives. Slinky and I both appreciate it. We'll see you guys soon.